two agencies very vital to us. One is Nigeria Meteorological Agency, which is NIMET. This is the agency that predict on the climate position for the country. They give us the annual rainfall expected, time onset, and the raining period. So on that, when we analyze the prediction on each sector, we'll be able to come out to find out whether there's going to be cholera outbreak to some communities or some areas or not. And so also the second agency is the NISA, Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency. These are the agency that is predicting, giving the flood outlook. And with every flood as well, you will get cholera because there will be contamination of water. And so cholera outbreak is certain to set in. So all these have been predicted. We are aware that there was going to be cholera outbreak, and which we had advised the Health and Human Services Secretariat ahead of the time. So that means there was preparedness and there was expectation from the Health and Human Services Secretariat to also really dust their own action response plan and then activate it when the cholera outbreak was discovered.
Okay, so from those predictions, what was the expected cost of this? And then how come it wasn't taken care of? Because it's like a fatal situation that 7 persons have died already in the FCT.
Yeah, you see, FCT is turning out to be something else because of the larger population that are coming to FCT. And so, the available facilities have been really overstretched. So you could see that you have the IDPs, not to say in one place, in wherever they are located, you find out that so many, and then the facilities there are not even available. If you go to satellite towns, it's the same thing. Every worker is living in the satellite town, and there's no well-planned setting. The contaminations everywhere, the gutters are well contaminated. But the Health and Human Services Secretariat were able to really quickly move in and ensure that they have set all the parameters and ensure that they nip it on the board, because they have all their medical personnel everywhere checking. By now, you will have seen that they have controlled the outbreak, and which is very commendable.
Yes, they've actually done a whole lot to help out in this situation. But now we know that we are almost entering the peak of the rainy season now, and then year in, year out, we see flooding within some regions in the FCT.
Sure.
And you've mentioned Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency that predict what the flood patterns is going to be like for this year. So what's the prediction like this year, so that we don't have the same experience that we've had year in, year out, that several lives get to be lost during?
Well, definitely there's going to be flood.
Yes, so
there's
what's the prediction?
And
like?
the flood, it has even included 2 of the FCT area councils are on the red zone. That's Gwagwalada and Amak. But when we say Gwagwalada and Amak, we don't mean that the entire Gwagwalada area council is going to be on red alert, or the entire Amak is going to be on red alert. But definitely some parts of these area councils are going to experience much higher flooding than ever. So therefore, the next thing is for both of us, the area councils and the FCT emergency management agencies and the entire FCTA administration, to ensure that we are on top of the situation. And how do we get on top of the situation? Is to make sure that we get our response plans ready, get our contingency plan available, ensure that we do the needful by taking the housekeeping much properly, ensuring that all the drainages are open, the waterways are free for stormwater to flow, and then ensure that those who build on the waterways, they quickly remove, the authority remove those buildings before the rain comes in seriously. And then the area council must also invest in that to ensure that all drainages in the area councils and satellite towns are well cleaned, and then they ensure that they don't dump refuse to block the drainages. And then above all, we must be watchful to ensure that we are ready to activate our response plan in case of any eventuality, along with the area councils and all the stakeholders in the flood environment, ensuring that we are up to date. And then we also have to send out jingles to all the locations, and we are using also town criers and using town halls meetings with the traditional rulers, the chairman of the local area council, to ensure that we sensitize them and prepare them. Apart from that, we are building resilience to those communities. We have to build their resilience. We have to teach them. We have to show them also the response plan. In case they need to know what to do before, they need to know what to do during, and they need to know what to do after the flooding. So all these are mandatory for us to ensure that people remain safe. Because if you don't know what to do before the flood comes in, then definitely you will do something that can cause the flooding. And then if you don't know what to do during the flooding, you will be a victim of flood disaster. And if you don't even know what to do after the flooding, you will fall to be a victim of one disease or another as well. Because, like I said, every flood comes with its own kinds of diseases, especially cholera outbreak. And so if you don't know what to do, you escape the flood and then fall into the trap of some diseases in the environment. So we are all teaching them to ensure that such things doesn't happen. That's the first goal. And the second goal is mitigation. If we can't prevent it, we have to mitigate it to ensure that we minimize